Okay, here we go with some viewer questions. This is from Spotless Wanderer. It's kind of a cool name. It says, "Hi, Angelo. How are you? I have a question regarding emptiness and formlessness. A couple of weeks ago, I had an experience which made me clear of the formless, empty nature of everything. Yet the persistent form made without form and content being there regardless. I feel when distanced from it, it appeared. When merged with it, there it was, formless and empty. It was mind-blowing and very upsetting. In my case, it seems that although it was very clear and I'm convinced it was, it also seems like some part of me shut down momentarily to be processing that. In that case, I guess it will come back stronger? Question mark. Although I'm not wanting either, because I'm sure that everything happens on its own and in the only way that can happen. And that includes your possible answer and reflection on this. Thanks, Angelo. You're welcome. So that's on a video, by the way, called The Heart Sutra, Emptying the Aggregates. Okay. So what I sense in this, I may not answer the question that you think you're asking, or I'm not completely sure what you're asking, but what I sense in just reading this is to say this: when you have a true experience of formlessness, the mind will often really get up in arms about it. It's not just the mind. There's something in the identity structure that just gets shaken, because it's like when you see that there's no form, you also see there's nowhere for an identity to exist, right? That's the road to anatta, no self. So the mind does weird things, like a lot of what you're saying here. It's like, should I do this or should I do that? Will it come back stronger? What do I want? Maybe I don't want that. That's all mental noise. Like, I'm not dismissing what you're saying exactly, but I'm saying, like, notice that all of that is out of this moment, right? That's what the mind's doing. It's trying to go back and process what happened, and was it an event? Is it going to come back this way? What does it mean? Did I like it? Did I not like it? That's just the mind trying to jockey a position in reference to an experience that's not happening right now. So, as always, the simplest answer is the best, and that is just rest in what is here. That's it. If you notice thoughts that are trying to take you into the past, even a day into the past where you had that experience or whatever it is, just notice those are thoughts. There's a thought here. That's essentially what's happening. Nothing more, nothing exciting really about that. It's just a thought. The thoughts that say, do I like it? Do I not like it? They're totally meaningless, because the mind can't like or dislike non-duality. It can't see it. It can't perceive it, because it's a reflection of reality. And reality is non-dualistic. So you could say it's a reflection of non-duality. So it can't actually perceive it directly. So it's just chasing its own thoughts around. The mind is just chasing its tail, trying to realize what's happening to it, and it's not going to figure it out. That's all that's happening. Yeah. But there are some deeper questions in there, maybe like, is this a spontaneous process? Of course it is. Non-duality is spontaneous. It's uncaused. It just is, right? It's not going to happen. It's here. It's the case. So, yeah, good question. Gets a little strange at this stage of things. This one's from Ahakaira or Ajakaira. Says, "Thank you, Angelo. I think you just figured out my problem." That's from the video, "Your naughty little ego loves to play this trick on you." I don't really remember what I even said in that video, but this one's from, boy, I can't say it. It's just a bunch of, it looks like a partial last name, partial first name, something, I don't know, some numbers. Okay. It says, "Thank you. I watched this video in a highly contracted state and worked the 5 steps. My heart was tight." Oh, by the way, that video is called A 5-Minute Approach to Resistance, Contraction, and Reactivity. In this video, I tried to make a very concise, simple, actionable process so that you can actually feel like you can do something with resistance, even if it's just for a few minutes. Which is a little different than I do sometimes. So anyway, so this person said, "The heart was tight. I was in fear of failing my daughter in the future with her Halloween costume. I felt through the chest and a clear thought of a solution came to mind. The pain dissipated and slowly spread through my lung area. The discomfort and release told me I can be helpful at something new, and I can do a practice run with her. Everything was calm. So grateful to practice these steps and get more proficient. Good. Yeah, it is the kind of thing you can just practice. And you will get clearer on how that works. This one's from Unknown Drunk. It's now a week after the circling and retreat, and I want to thank you again for both. I only opened up a little bit during circling, but it was enough. During the retreat, tears streamed down my face, and I could wail for myself in private. Then during kirtan, I raggedly sang past my broken heart for my father who broke it 40 years ago. No one could convince me your work isn't sacred, Angelo. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that all worked out for you. That's a really good order of doing things, is to do circling and then go to retreat. Because circling really opens up blockages, dismantles obstructions, gets you into territory that you've often just totally overlooked. And then you go into retreat and you can really open up so much consciousness to let that material process itself, really, to let it all settle into a kind of equilibrium, equanimity, and so forth. Okay. This one's from Anna K. Fitness. Angelo, with 3 exclamation points. Well, I cannot stop laughing. I finally just got the joke. It is me, quote, unquote. The one writing yesterday with laughing SpongeBob faces. Oh my God, ha ha ha. Feels hilarious, weird, and absolutely impossible to get with my thinking mind. Love, love, love you. Love, love, love this. Now, in capital letters. Well, awesome. We got the cosmic joke. This is from the video called The Filter of Self and How to Confront It. Very cool. Good to hear from you, Anna. From Kenny Birch. Angelo, you said, don't overlook consciousness as the 6th sense gate, or else you will be identified with it and not realize it. That hit me upside the head, LOL. You seem to come up with such profound pointers effortlessly. This is from the video Hold My Beer, answering viewer questions. All right. This one's from George's own M. If I'm at such a point in my life that it logically seems I might get a big dose of fulfillment from achievement, as I have not really built or achieved anything in some of the key areas of my life, but at the same time, the perspective of always chasing the next fleeting thing, striving for validation, temporary satisfaction, seems empty and pointless. I guess I'm wondering if I'm truly ready for this or not. Also, what if shadow work reveals what looks like dissatisfaction with a particular area in my life? Should I then go and try to get it fixed accordingly, or just listen to that part from a place of compassion but not believe its conclusions? So this, I would say, I cannot answer that for you, but I know you can. I can't answer it for you because I'm not you, right? But it's not going to be the same answer for everyone at any given time. So if something comes up and you get some repressed emotional blockage or whatever, and it's just gone, and all of a sudden you see like, oh my God, I've been self-sabotaging in this area of my life. I really want to put work and effort into that. Go for it. It's not a problem, right? Then the mind sometimes will say like, oh, but is that going to take away from my awakening, right? To me, that's just another form of doubt. The awakening drive comes forward spontaneously, right? I'm not even sure you need to cultivate it. I'm not sure you can cultivate it, really. It just comes forward. So the reason I talk about competing agendas is more so you're clear on what's going on. Once you have a block, unblock. Once you have something come up, it's like, oh gosh, I can see now more clearly that I have been blocked in that part of my life, and I feel more motivation toward that. That's probably not taking away from the awakening necessarily. It may distract you for some time or whatever. You may have to put some effort into it. But really, in the end, it's actually preparing you, because in some sense, you do kind of need a reasonably healthy ego structure to totally deconstruct the ego structure. I'll let you figure out what that means. I got that from Osho, by the way, but I really find that to be the case sometimes. Is like, sometimes people are really trying to use spirituality, even the idea of awakening, to bypass something. And it just doesn't work. That's not what it's about, right? It's not to get you out of jail. It's not a get out of jail free card from life. So you may have to actually address things first or along the way, and that's all totally fine. But don't get in your head too much about the doubting around it. But I can't tell you specifically how much effort you need to put into this or that. Just ask yourself, let it sink into your gut. What's the most important thing to do here? Should I put effort into this right now? You'll know. This is Susan Husulak. I had my initial awakening in 2001. And I'm at a point where working with someone really good at trauma work for the shadow work stage might be helpful. Wonder if you might recommend anyone in this respect. Thanks. Yeah. Number one would be deep shadow process or circling that we do periodically. If you're a channel member, you will see that I give away a lot of spots to that. I've been giving away free and I'm giving a lot away. So that's one way you could get into doing that. Otherwise, you can look up insidecircle.org and find out what they're doing and see if you can go to workshops. That's the most potent stuff I've seen. Unless you want to work truly with a one-on-one therapist, then I would say either Chelsea or Marlon. And yeah, they're both awake and both therapists. Those are the two people I recommend frequently lately. This one's from Justin Holland Fitness. Would you say that it's really just exploring the subconscious beliefs from previous experiences that are still driving our thoughts, emotions, and decisions? That it's really just exploring those? Oh, I see. This is from my video called This is What Shadow Work Ultimately Comes Down to. Shadow work really comes down to feeling one way or another. But it also comes down to reprocessing somatic blockages, let's say, for lack of a better way of saying it. But all of that hinges on often unseen beliefs, really deeply hidden beliefs that are more like identity structures. That's what I've seen. So it's valuable to dive in, explore unconscious beliefs and so forth, but largely you have to do that in unison with other types of shadow work like somatic work and really feeling into what's happening in the body. It's a big question when we talk about shadow work, but that's the simple answer for now, I think. This one's from MD Abdo. Hey, everyone. I have had 2 spiritual awakening experiences that completely changed the way I feel about myself. I lost my sense of self and it became so clear to me. Right now, though, I'm dealing with depression and extreme physical exhaustion. I'm looking for support and a community to connect with. I want to know how long this kind of mild depression usually lasts. That I can't answer because there's no map for this. It's just different for everyone, of course. So I wouldn't try to look for a map yourself because that's just going to confuse you. It's actually just going to put you in your head. Like trying to figure it out, like what's right, what's normal, what is other people doing, like that kind of stuff is not particularly helpful. What's actually helpful is to go, what am I feeling right now? Right? Depression is more of like a blanket description. It's like nominalizing your experience over time, but you don't have, if you, like you said, the self structure is not there. If that's true for you, you'll see there's no time. There's no what happened a week ago versus one day ago versus tomorrow. Like that doesn't matter. Well, it's not even real, right? What's real is what you're experiencing right now. That's it. So if you're feeling tension in the chest and that usually triggers you into the mind, says, oh, I'm depressed or something. That's when you go, okay, wait a minute. Let me just go right to that, fully into that. Yes, it's intense. Yes, it's full on. Yes, there's no filters anymore and you just got to feel it. But you can feel it. Just go right into that as deeply as you possibly can. Just keep going and going and going and going into it. This one, it's not something that needs to drag out. Just go into this moment, deep, 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 not in time, like longitudinally. That's not going to help you here, right? I'm assuming what you're saying is true, that self-structure is not there. So, yeah. And if you say you're not resisting it, that's great. But understand, even thinking nominalization is kind of resisting, right? Putting anything in time is, you're not doing the resistance. It's a resistance pattern that's there. It's a resistance patterning of using mind to not feel. That's all it is, right? It gets very simple here. To read the rest of your question, I want to fully experience it, but at the same time, I'd like to connect with people who have gone through the same thing. Unfortunately, I'm a doctor living in an Arab world, currently not working, and don't have the ability to see a psychiatrist or therapist. People who've gone through it, yeah, I mean, the facilitators I usually bring to retreats, The one-on-one people I recommend, if you're interested, Kogan, Chris Guimon, Chad, Eshwar, Josh, Vivi. Yeah, all of them are good resources for you. You can get on my community locator, find people in your area. You may or may not based on where you live, but you can do up to a 200-mile radius. The community locator may find people around you, but it doesn't mean that they're going to have already walked this path and realize no self and all that. So, but they're still good to have a community with and do things with and stuff. Let's see. Brushstroke 3733. Thank you for this simple but profound process. It reminds me of Joe Hudson's coaching. Let's find the resistance at the root of our challenges rather than playing whack-a-mole with our painful emotions. Whack-a-mole. 5-minute approach to resistance, contraction, and reactivity. That's the same video that he's referring to there. All right. This is from Wolf Larson. It's the video called What is Non-duality with Practice Example. It is like looking at a photograph. You can discern so-called objects based on your conditioning of an outside world made of separate things, but really there is just one image, like a borderless collage of apparent separate objects. Rupert Spira's direction of reach out an imaginary hand and touch what the activity of seeing is made of. I always found this helpful in seeing this. This description of a borderless collage of apparent separate objects. Yeah, even the apparent separate objects, those aren't in the collage. The mind is putting that idea in, right? But yeah, the visual field is just like this. Just a mosaic of colors, all it really is. This one's from Gawilaman. I like the little monkey face in there. It's like a little cartoon monkey. I used to be very good at this, sitting and observing myself and my emotions or thoughts without judgment, attachment, identification. After neglecting the practice for long enough, I'm now at a frustrated point where it seems damn near impossible. My mind is plagued with chaos and psychosis these days. I don't know about the psychosis part specifically, if you mean that literally or what. That's a little different story. But as far as not being able to observe yourself, observing thoughts, emotions, judgment, attachment, I have some really good and bad news for you. The good news is probably not what you think. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's what you think. The bad news is you will lose the ability to do that. With this process, you will lose the ability to stand in a watcher state, to stand back and see anything. It works for a while, but it requires dissociation to do that. At some point, you lose the ability to do it. Now, that's not a problem, losing the ability to do it. It's just that realization proceeds in a different way, or practice is more subtle, partially. But what makes it seem like a problem is the thoughts about it. Like, oh shit, I lost something. It's gone, right? I would rather just say, hey, I feel like I've lost something. What does it feel like to feel like a loss? Where do I feel loss? Oh my God, I feel it in my chest. I feel that so deeply. Stay with it. Go right into it. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel what's there now. That's all you got to do. Yeah. Not observe. You can't observe it, right? That you're crashing into it. That's why it's so uncomfortable at first. It won't stay uncomfortable though once you reincorporate the somatic process totally and stop dissociating into a sense of separation. Good question. All right. Bill Mahoney says, love you, my man. That's a video called What It All Comes Down To. Let's see. This is from Mina Os. As time passes, these songs are transmitting more and more. And true, without seeing it, in a glimpse at least. I always laugh at these because I've been doing this for a handful of years online and before that. And what I notice is like if somebody's been watching for a while or working with me for a while, they go, I swear you're getting better at talking about this. And maybe I am to some degree or whatever, but the vast majority of that perception is you're waking up a lot more. It's becoming more obvious. I used to recommend, I still would recommend it to anybody, but I haven't done it in a while. I used to recommend Adyashanti books a lot, like Emptiness Dancing is a great book. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's awesome. But I remember recommending the book, and like not uncommonly, I'd come across someone who'd be like, "Oh yeah, I read Adyashanti. I don't resonate with him." And then I would work with them for a while and they start waking up or they'd have an awakening. And I'd go, oh, you should check out Adyashanti again. And they'd go back and check it out and be like, oh my God, I totally didn't see what he was saying. I missed it. People are like that with Eckhart Tolle as well. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but The Power of Now, some people, they light up when they read it. They know, they're like, oh yeah, this is what I've been looking for, But many people don't. They're like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. He's just like, it's like word salad or something. And then later on, 5 years later or something, they have a breakthrough of some kind or a tragedy or something that opens them up a little bit and they read it again and it starts making sense. So I think it's probably along those lines, but I appreciate the compliment. All right. Okay, this one's from Waves. My video here is called How to Talk to Your Friends and Family About Non-Duality. The comment is, there is no subtlety to my feeling experience, nor hiding. Today it lasted for nearly 6 hours and felt like brain imploding on itself. Both terror and the shadow of the damn collective. Images like a Rolodex of past experiences felt within this vessel and theirs. All I could do was go in, no pause button. Oddly, both sickly, euphoric, and need to throw head against wall, needing and wanting to die. It ended, and alas, I'm still here, just as terrified. Can manifest as being plugged into electrical socket, or more daintily as tears and throat constriction. Constriction, I think they meant. Resistance is futile, and surrender sucks balls too. Yeah, you're still fighting the process. I mean, I don't mean to, I'm not picking on you. I can tell what you're going through is really rough, but the whole thing is laced with this kind of resistance. Check out my video that I just released like yesterday or whatever, where it's like the 5 steps. I think that'll be really helpful for you because it's very simple. Look for the resistance in the system, or just ask yourself, is there still resistance in this system? Because there is. And just recognizing the resistance and not resisting the resistance will settle this a lot. Because if you try to brace yourself against this, even though, yes, you're going through it 100%, it's full on, no filters, the bracing itself, you could say it's like ninth fetter, it's that intense resistance to experience that sets up the whole urgency of duality, the urgency of self to construct itself at a young age. Anyway, but I feel for you. It'll settle. Bears Without Ears says, it's like pure experience takes place for a millisecond, and then the mind's illusion kicks in, thus preventing further pure experience. Ah, good question. That's not a question, it's a comment, but I'm going to turn it into a question. That's not true. Pure experience takes place for a millisecond. Pure experience, you might touch into it for a millisecond and realize there's no time there, but it's eternal. It's always here, right? The mind's illusion can kick in all at once, but are you going to believe the mind's illusion, or are you just going to return to the timelessness? Because the timelessness is right here, right now, burning like 1,000 suns. Thoughts can't touch this. Thoughts are a joke compared to this. They're like toothpicks in a raging fire. But the single thought you believe, like all further pure experience is gone or something, right? I'm amplifying your statement to make a point of it, but watch those thoughts, man. One sticky thought and you will be pulled so far into the thought world. Thoughts don't have any fucking power except your belief in the thought. You give the thought the power. They have no power. You give the thought the power. I think I've heard this quoted. I've never actually read it, but Course in Miracles, I think it's like the second line or something says, you and I, or you and me, give everything all the meaning it has. It's exactly right. Yeah. This is from developer Chris. When is your second book coming out? Haven't started working on it yet. Don't know. A couple years maybe. But there's plenty in all these videos. And there's plenty in the first book, actually. A lot of stuff's hidden in there. Okay, this one's from Revelations Beyond Belief. In a full conscious state. You can see truth. Non-duality doesn't even exist. Originally, it is observing in a way the mind isn't activated. Not sure what you're talking about there exactly. Feels a little confused to me, but that's okay. In a full conscious state. So what I assume you mean is from the experience of pure consciousness or unbound consciousness, which is what you wake up to with the first awakening, but that's not non-duality. So from that standpoint, when you say non-duality doesn't exist, it's like, well, that hasn't been realized yet. Like the realization of non-duality is not dawned at that point. So it's just a thought or a concept to you at that point. And nothing, you could say nothing exists from there, right? You could also say everything exists. It's just consciousness. Yeah. Very different than non-duality though. So anyway, there's more ahead for you. Okay. Oh, okay. This is from It Was Real, but Not Fun. Okay. I have got absolutely no clue what you're talking about. Over a decade of this, and I'm more clueless now than ever. This is from the video called There's Something You Don't Know About Yourself Until It's Too Late. In this video, I was just talking about thoughts and I was talking about how we seek validation constantly. So you really don't get that? Like you don't have to have any non-dual insight or anything to get that we're constantly seeking validation all the time. Just look around. Look at what people post on social media. Look at what you talk about. When you talk to somebody, what are you saying? How are you conversing with them? Feel into what you want. Don't you feel like you want something from people or they want something from you? Like all of that is the validation game. So there's nothing magical or mystical about that. It's just an observation of human psychology and what we're doing with communication a lot of the time. Yeah. Dark sense of humor here. It says, thank God I was born sterile. Praise be to Monsanto's Agent Orange. No passing on this shit show to any kids. What a blessing. I wish you fruition, my friend. You are funny, though. Okay. I think we are done. That's it. Thank you all for your comments. I will answer all the ones I can. Yeah, appreciate you.